U.S. News and World Report came out with their list of the best overall states to live in the United States. What were the top 10 best states according to their research? Which states came in dead last? What were their categories they looked at when they made their study? What makes a state great? That's our topic in today's video, and we're going to get started right now. According to U.S. News and World Report, their rankings were based on 9 categories: crime and corrections, economy, education, fiscal stability, healthcare, infrastructure, natural environment, and opportunity. Some states did great in healthcare, others did better in education. U.S. News and World Report looked at thousands of data points to measure how well a state was servicing their citizens. Out of these 9 categories, more weight was accorded to certain categories based on surveys of what mattered most to people. Healthcare and education were weighted most heavily. Then came state economies, infrastructure, and opportunities states offered their citizens. Fiscal stability came next, followed by crime and corrections, and finally a state's natural environment. Keep in mind, whenever you see a list of anything, there's going to be a bias based on whoever's publishing the list. It depends on what they're basing their list on. For example, I live in Nebraska. Nebraska is a large state in terms of area. Nebraska covers 77,347 square miles. However, we have a very low population of just under 2 million people. We have a total of 93 counties, and most of the population is concentrated in just 3 counties. And if you look at something like a category like healthcare, Nebraska was ranked 25th. Now, that's looking at the entire state. There will be many counties in Nebraska without access to adequate healthcare services. However, if you looked at Douglas County is where the largest city of Nebraska is located, and that's Omaha. Omaha is home to Nebraska Medicine and the CHI healthcare system. Nebraska Medicine is one of the premier medical centers across the country. So if you just looked locally at Omaha, then I would put our healthcare system up against anyone. Some states did really well, and other states have plenty of room for improvement. Let's start with the top 10 best states, counting down from number 10. Starting with number 10. Number 10 kind of surprised me. According to U.S. News and World Report, the 10th overall best state was Massachusetts. Massachusetts was ranked 2nd for healthcare, 3rd for education, and 4th for crime and corrections. However, Massachusetts was ranked 39th for fiscal stability, 39th for infrastructure, and 46th for opportunity. Coming in at number 9 was Florida. Florida was ranked 1st for education, 1st for economy, and was tied 13th for natural environment and crime and corrections. Florida's lower marks were in healthcare and opportunity. Florida was ranked 26th in healthcare and 45th for opportunity. Now that kind of surprised me because I would have thought Florida would have ranked higher, especially for healthcare, considering many people move to Florida after they retire. Number 8 on the overall list was Washington. Washington was ranked 7th for infrastructure, 10th for healthcare, and 11th for natural environment. Washington was ranked lowest for crime and corrections. Washington was ranked 37th for opportunity and 39th for crime and corrections. I'm a little surprised Washington made the list this high. There again, how do they measure these metrics? Number 7 on the list was Vermont. Vermont came in 1st for opportunity, 3rd for crime and corrections. Vermont finished 24th for education and 35th for fiscal stability. Number 6 was our next door neighbors, Iowa. Iowa was ranked 6th overall best state in the union. Iowa was ranked 3rd for opportunity, 10th for infrastructure, and 11th for education. On the areas that need improvement, Iowa was ranked 21st in healthcare and 36th for economy. Coming in at number 5 was Idaho. That makes sense because it seems like everyone who is escaping California is moving to Idaho. Idaho was ranked 2nd for economy, 9th for fiscal stability, and Idaho ranked 18th for education and healthcare, and 29th for natural environment. Now, it seems hard to believe that Idaho would rank so low for natural environment. I think Idaho is a beautiful state, especially when you're talking about the mountains. The 4th best state, according to U.S. News and World Report, was Minnesota. Minnesota ranked 2nd for natural environment, 7th for fiscal stability, and 9th for infrastructure. On the low side, Minnesota ranked 16th for healthcare and 26th for economy. Before we get to the 3rd best state, according to U.S. News and World Report, let's take a look at the lowest 3 states. Now, coming in at number 48 was Mississippi. Mississippi came in dead last in terms of healthcare. Number 49th on the list was New Mexico. New Mexico came in dead last for education. And the worst state that came in dead last was Louisiana. Louisiana was ranked 50th for education, 49th for economy, 49th for natural environment, 49th for infrastructure, 46th in healthcare, and 44th for opportunity. Their best category was fiscal stability, and that category they came in 41st. Now the top 3 best states. Coming in as the 3rd best state according to U.S. News and World Report was, wait for it, Nebraska. We ranked 3rd for fiscal stability, 4th for infrastructure, 9th for natural environment, and 14th for education, 17th for crime and corrections, and 19th for economy and opportunity, and 25th for healthcare. Now, apparently, they were not looking at our property taxes or our weather. I'm a little surprised we were so low in healthcare. But again, that's probably looking at access because in the western part of the state, known as the Panhandle, healthcare access is a challenge. But I live in Omaha, and our healthcare system locally in Omaha area is the best of the best. And if you're considering relocating to Nebraska, I have contacts across the state. Nebraska Realty has offices in Omaha, Lincoln, Fremont, Columbus, Gothenburg, Grand Island, Hastings, Kearney, Norfolk, North Platte, and Scottsbluff. We also have a sister company that sells farm ground, hunting ground, recreation, along with undeveloped land across the Midwest. This company is called American Land and Legacy Company. We currently serve 9 states across the Midwest, including Nebraska, Iowa, Kansas, both Dakotas, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Colorado. Nebraska Realty has another company called Embark Realty. Now, Embark Realty is Nebraska Realty when we're not in Nebraska. So if you need help with relocation, reach out. Doesn't matter what state you're in. I can assist you in finding an agent to help you. My contact information is in the description below. Now, back to the list. Number 2 on the list was New Hampshire. New Hampshire was ranked 1st for crime and corrections, 7th for economy, and 8th for natural environment, and 9th for education. The only lower ranking for New Hampshire was for fiscal stability. New Hampshire was ranked 38th for fiscal stability. Before we discuss the best state in the United States, how did each of these states do in terms of home price appreciation from pre-COVID? Massachusetts was up 42.5%. Florida was up 66.4%. Washington, 42.4%. Vermont, 55.7%. Iowa, 35.8%. Idaho, 56.4%. Minnesota, 32.5%. Nebraska, 41.8%. And New Hampshire at 55.2%. And the number 1 state was up 52.7% from pre-COVID. And the number 1 state, according to U.S. News and World Report, is Utah. Utah was ranked 2nd for education, 3rd for economy, 3rd for infrastructure, 6th for fiscal stability, 9th for crime and corrections, and 14th for healthcare, and 18th for opportunity. However, Utah was ranked 46th for natural environment.